If you don't believe that, then I don't know. Think about it. Ask Jesus about it. Ask a psychologist, but ask Jesus more. Hi folks, Father Columba here. You're watching Call to More. Once again, I'm in my new location in Limerick. Hi Limerick. What did I want to talk to you about today? Oh yes, 10 minutes of undivided attention. So I was talking to a friend of mine recently. I think parents do this. I certainly would be doing it if I had a child. They were reading a book about being a parent, and raising kids and all that. And in this book, they shared this with me. They said there was this amazing insight. In the book, the person said that what a child needs to flourish, and understanding that there's many things a child needs to flourish, but it's in one particular area. What a child needs to flourish is just 10 minutes of undivided attention every day. Only 10 minutes. I was thinking you need all day long. I see you, child. I see you. You're so precious. Doing that intensity for, 18 years or something. Can you imagine? I couldn't do it. 10 minutes of undivided attention. When I heard that, I'm like, that's doable. That is doable. And it just got me thinking. I don't have any kids, so I can't try it out on kids so much, at least not my own. But isn't it the power of being seen? And I kind of then applied it to myself, my own life. It's like, yeah, isn't that a thing about friendship? One of the gifts of friendship is to have someone in your life who sees you and who you see back, and they can handle that. You can listen to them and they'll listen to you. Because there's lots of different people in my life who, I'm not going to share my situation in life and heart with. It just wouldn't be appropriate, especially being a priest and a friar and all that. Most people in my life, I can't do that with. But, we all have a certain number of those close friends. Maybe some of our family members fit in that category. So important. Now, I don't know if that number, the 10 minutes, goes up or goes down as you get older. But even if it stays the same, isn't that a thing? It just made me think that we have this tank inside of us, this container, and that we need this gift, I presume every day, but at least we need it in our lives. We need to be seen. I really think this is, at least for me, one of the most important things and one of the trickiest things. Do we have people in our lives who we call our friends, but they don't actually see us? Okay, so this applies first of all to our own hearts, that we need this. Grace builds on nature, folks, and I say this to explain why on earth would I be saying this? Is this not like a channel for talking about, the faith and growing in a relationship with God? Yeah, but grace builds on nature. That was a principle that St. Thomas Aquinas and probably loads of others talked about, that God's grace and our growing in relationship with Jesus is built on the bedrock of our humanity. And if our humanity is a mess, it's going to be so hard because the foundation's all over the place. And God is, pouring in grace, but we're just leaking it everywhere. We just can't hold on to it because we don't have the solid rock of a well-formed humanity. So that's where we need healing, inner healing, outer healing. But the inner healing, I think, is way more important, so that I can profit more from what the Lord has given me, from the grace he's pouring on me all the time when I pray. And we want to do both at the same time. We don't want to get all kind of psychological and all human-y and forget the spirit, nor do we want to just get so spiritual that we forget the human. We're both. In Jesus, there was humanity and divinity, and so too in us. Yeah, so that's first thing. First thing is that this insight tells me, wow, it just confirms for me, yeah, I need connection. I need human connection. I need friendship. If you don't believe that, then I don't know. Think about it. Ask Jesus about it. Ask a psychologist, but ask Jesus more. So we need this. And to go and look for it. If you don't have this in your life, if you don't have that kind of friend, then ask the Lord for it. So first of all, start with your friends that you have and see how can we grow this in a better direction. And then there is a value, guys. There is a value in just sharing your heart. You need this. If you're going to become the saint that God has created you to be, you need to be able to share your heart, and not just with the Lord. Because we learn how to do it with the Lord by doing it with other people. Yeah, so just an encouragement in that area. It's definitely something I am wanting and always constantly trying to grow in. Okay, but I think this insight of 10 minutes of undivided attention, it also tells us what a beautiful gift for us to give to others. If this is an essential way in which we receive love, all of us, What a beautiful thing to be able to give that to others. And yes, of course, to our friends. So if we're always the one talking, well, maybe we need to shut up. Say, hey, how are you doing? So I've talked about before, get curious about the other person. When they give it to say, share something about their day, don't just turn it back to you. Say, oh, wow, I'm curious. Tell me more. What was that like? Just undivided attention, and know that this is an amazing way for you to love them. And we can't control whether other people do it for us, but we definitely can control us doing it for other people. What a beautiful gift. And even not just for your friends, doing it for strangers, doing it for people who are just acquaintances, doing it for someone who looks like they could use a listening ear, because everybody needs to be seen. Everybody needs to be unconditionally loved. And that is hard to get. That is hard to find. But maybe we could start with ourselves. I feel a Michael Jackson song coming on. And then lastly, I'm thinking about God. Again, in the two ways, so that he does this for us. He just waits for us. I'm especially thinking of him in the church, in the tabernacle, in the Eucharist. What does he do? He just waits. He listens to us. He sees us. There's that beautiful story of a curé of ours, St. Jean-Marie Vianney. And he asked one of his holy guy in his parish, who would just come into church. He asked him one day, what do you do when you pray? And this simple guy said, I just look at him and he looks at me. How beautiful. So this is something that we can receive from the Lord, if from nobody else. Whether we can get to adoration or church or not, we can do it at home in our prayer time. Just to say that to yourself. Just say it to God. God, thank you that you see me. Tell it to your heart. Put your hand in your heart and say, the Lord sees you and loves you. And then we can do it for the Lord. How many people just stop and listen to him? How many people make their heart a safe haven for the Lord, a place where he can just come and rest and be loved? Yeah, so I love this idea. All a child needs to flourish is 10 minutes of undivided attention a day. God bless you.